Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Well, time for facts to make your brain go. The unhealthiest snack, number one. I have a top 10, actually. And this way, like to our point earlier, that if you're number one, maybe bounce back to number 3 or 4, and that's certainly a diet. That's certainly losing some weight.
Of health.
Yeah, certainly taking a step toward change. Or just keep going and be happy you're number one with the snack that you chose as the unhealthiest.
That's where you dominate.
I would love to be number one in this one. I know the list, and I'm not number one. I'll tell you that with my number one snack. But let's start at 10 and go down the list here. Number 10 might surprise you. The Chewy Dips Chocolate Chip Granola Bar is the 10th unhealthiest snack you can eat. So a lot of people think granola bars are healthy. They have little chocolate chips in there. I was sold on that years ago, saying like, these are really good. They got to be really good for you. It says granola in the title.
Yeah, the word granola really throws people sometimes.
Yeah. But they're, it's in the top 10. It's not the worst, but it's certainly, if you're eating a granola bar, I mean, it's not that great.
Might as well have a candy bar at this point in time.
Well, let me put it this way. Number 9, right in front of it is Twix.
Yeah. Well, and what would you rather have?
A Twix?
Exactly.
I mean, I would eat 4 Twix over that granola bar.
Amen.
God, when you eat Twix, do you bite into both bars at the same time?
No, because I don't kill people.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not a psychopath. I don't bite both bars. You bite both bars?
Not all the time, but when I want to treat myself, I'll bite both because it's an explosion in your mouth.
Okay, you like that, don't you?
I do. I do like that.
Big fan of explosions in your mouth.
Case, what about you?
No, I don't. That feels like a choking hazard. That's a lot of things to stuff in your mouth at
A
one point.
choking hazard?
Twix bar is pretty thick.
What are you, 12 months old? It's a choking hazard?
And I had to ask you, because you eat things a particular way. You know what a Nutter Butter is, right? Like those wafer things?
Yes.
Do you eat it one wafer at a time, like bite the wafers individually off of each other?
No, I divide them up, like an Oreo, let's say. Is that what you're asking me?
I bite the individual wafer, so I eat down instead of length.
So you...
I take each wafer apart.
Okay, take it apart, eat a wafer.
I have to eat one wafer at a time in the Nutter Butter. I can't crunch into an entire Nutter Butter.
Now, do you try to get peanut butter on both or both wafers?
That's just how the cookie crumbles, how the wafer rolls, baby.
Sometimes.
That's what you do about it.
It's a hard life being a wafer.
But yeah, one wafer at a time.
I take them apart too.
Yeah.
Even though
I can't crunch into a Nutter Butter full blown.
No, even though I'll double up on my Twix and go both at the same time.
I know. Yeah. That's why I figured you were a Nutter Butter biter.
I like Nutter Butters.
I know you do.
Number 8 is the Hostess Old Fashioned Donuts. I don't know what those are.
It's a mini donut.
Oh, so the mini donuts.
Yeah, they're badass.
That's 8. That's not so bad.
No, that's basically like eating
the worst thing you can have. It's not.
It's like eating broccoli, basically.
Right. I mean, that's like a vegan diet right there.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. And just to be clear, the lower the number gets, so like 8 and then 7, this is getting more unhealthy.
Correct.
But 8's not that bad.
No.
But it's of the worst things you can eat.
Yeah, but it's still 8th.
Yeah, 8th is nothing. You're not even on the podium at that point.
Yeah, you're not getting a bronze.
You're on the top 10 podium.
Yeah.
You are.
They don't have podiums that big.
Okay.
You're not getting a bronze.
No, nothing. What about number 7?
7 is Max Salt and Vinegar Pork Skins.
Oh, that sounds good.
I don't know what Max are. I love salt and vinegar chips. Love those.
Pork skins are like the little pork rindy things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those are good.
I had no idea they made salt and vinegar pork skins.
This is just a list of things you should try
in
your mind.
This is an educational list.
Is that your shopping list for later?
He loves this list.
If anybody out there buys Max Salt and Vinegar pork skins, tell me where I can get them. Like Jewel, Target, Walmart, like wherever. Who sells those?
You should probably be avoiding them, but that's fine.
This list has turned out awesome. Number 6, everybody knows. Doritos, nacho cheese, regular style Doritos. Are 6 on the list as the worst.
Okay.
And again, this is based on calories, fat content. For example, let's do a measured check here. So per 12 chips, 12. You can't eat 12 Doritos. You've got to eat like 50 at least. The bag is gone. I don't care what size the bag is.
You just went from 50 to the bag has to be gone when you eat them?
I don't think I've actually stopped short of a couple chips in a bag just to say I didn't eat the whole bag when there's a couple left. Doritos, I don't know what it is. They're so addictive. But for 12 chips, it's 8 grams of fat, 150 calories, 18 grams of carbs.
And you toss that back with your aspartame soda.
That's right. There's 1 gram of protein in Doritos, though.
That's good. Well, you're practically a bodybuilder.
Number 5 is Little Debbie Swiss rolls. Those are like ho-hos, I think,
Those
right?
are the chocolate roll with the cream inside. Yeah.
So I was a Hostess guy with Hostess ho-hos, they called them.
I bet they did call you a ho-ho.
The ho-hos. Yeah. Okay, we're getting close here. Top 4. Oh, this is dangerous. 4 is the Turtle Chex Mix.
That's my go-to Chex Mix.
So that's when they had chocolate in it, right?
Yeah. Oh, that sucks. That's the best one.
That's 4. It's almost top 3, almost getting a bronze.
I mean, look, it's top 4. At the end of the day, I can eat it and be totally fine. It won't affect me at all. But that's a shame it's 4 and not on the list. That's the best Chex Mix there is.
Well, if it was number 8, it'd be healthy,
I
apparently.
mean, 8 is, again, it's like, eating Brussels sprouts. 4, you're pushing it, but it's totally fine to eat a lot of.
So is top 3 the only thing you're concerned about?
Top 1 is the only thing I'm concerned about.
Lord.
All right, so the top 3 now, the unhealthiest snacks on the planet. Number 3 is, and this is disappointing, because this is good, and I didn't think it was that unhealthy, the Ritz Bits cheese sandwich crackers.
Oh, I thought those were good for you.
With the ones with the fake cheese in the middle?
Yeah, but the little ones so you can eat like
Sandwiches?
eat a handful like
Why?
popcorn.
Okay, listen, you guys can't see in the studio. When I said the ones with the cheese in the middle, Brian made a circle with his hand and put his finger through it. Why is that the example? That looks like a health class, like a sex education. Why'd you make that hand gesture at
I
me
don't
when
know.
I asked him the cheese in the middle?
I just get excited when I hear
I
about
didn't
Ritz
ask if you gave
Bits.
him a hand job.
So, and Ritz Bits, like I said, you can eat a whole handful.
Oh, yeah.
And like that's just one little grab.
Oh my God.
And it says per 13 little sandwiches, it's 9 grams of fat, 160 milligrams of sodium, woof, and 19 grams of carbs. But there are 2 grams of protein, more protein.
Again,
There you go.
You're gonna the muscles that you're gonna have after these snacks.
Okay, here we go. Now we're getting to it, okay? Number 2.
Well, now it matters.
Now it matters. The unhealthiest snacks on the planet, Smucker's Goober Grape Jelly.
What?
Real? Wow.
Yeah. Or it's actually not even, it is the jelly. Per 3 tablespoon servings, it's 11 grams of fat, 125 milligrams of salt, sodium, and 30 grams of carbs, but 5 grams of protein.
Oh, my goodness.
Huh. Wow, these peanut butter jellies are gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Brian, before we get to number 1, can we take a guess?
Yeah, but before you go, you got to look at the jar of this Goober grape.
Uh-huh.
Holy cow. They make
What do
it
you mean? I have to look at a jar of jelly?
You have to look at it.
Why?
Because it's perfectly made as peanut butter and jelly in the jar. Like
I've seen those combo things, and I don't like it.
it's all striped down the sides. You can just sit there and eat it out of the jar.
I don't like that. I don't like that you've already combined it.
I'm putting it in my cart right now.
Look, they don't make jelly like your grandma used to, okay? The jelly game has come a long way in your lifetime, Brian.
I've never seen that
It's
jar
awesome.
before.
Dude, it's awesome.
You like the combo jar?
I love it.
Well, I never had it before. I've made peanut butter and jelly myself. You ever had an Uncrustable?
Well, Uncrustables are awesome. You
I
take them out
like-
of the freezer cold.
I like homemade peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Do you churn the jelly?
Well, I don't like. That's just. I don't like the taste of things that I can tell have been like manhandled a lot. That bothers me.
But you have a busy life, more busy now than ever with a new child.
Yeah.
Them putting it together for you is a gift.
No, but it tastes like plastic.
Oh, no,
I
it doesn't.
taste it. I can taste the machine.
You need to retest it.
No, I don't. I taste metal.
Okay, the number 1 unhealthiest snack on the planet is, are you ready? Maybe you're eating this right now in the car, and we appreciate you listening to the show and eating your breakfast on the way to work, is zebra cakes.
Oh, those are so good.
Now, why can't I think about, I don't think they're not a go-to
They're
for me.
shaped like a stop sign.
Yeah.
Do you not know what a zebra cake is?
Vaguely.
Okay, so they're shaped like a stop sign, and they have the white coating on them, and then the chocolate stripes, like a zebra.
Yeah, it looks like a zebra, and it's a piece of cake.
And there's 2 of them in the pack.
I got to be honest. I don't think I've ever had one
Really?
of a zebra cake.
Well, add them to your cart along with the rest of the death trap you just ordered.
Brian, you got to get a zebra cake, dude. They're unbelievable.
So when's the last time you had one?
Last week.
Okay.
They're a regular in my cart. It's either that or a cosmic brownie. I treat myself.
Little Debbie really ranked in on this list. She's out to kill everybody.
She's an
pretty
innovator,
good.
in my opinion.
silent killer, huh?
Well, the zebra cake, so per cake, it's 320 calories, 14 grams of fat, 8 saturated, 150 milligrams of sodium, 47 grams of carbs, but 2 grams of protein.
Maybe Little Debbie is a cover, and she's like a country that hates us, and they're just producing these things.
There's people in Russia making zebra cakes, like they're all lined up.
They're a bunch of dumbasses.
Well, there you go. Whether you consider yourself a champion, maybe you eat zebra cakes every day. That's the unhealthiest snack. But I'm telling you, that Smucker's Goober Grape, that's in my cart right now.
Oh, good Lord.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. Time for sports, which is brought to you by the Marquee Network. Stream Cubs baseball at watchmarquee.com.
The Q101 Morning Crew. Sports.
Well, we could talk about the Cubs losing to the Mets yesterday 5-2, but the real thing over the weekend was Ryne Sandberg, the statue unveiling with his family, singing the 7th inning stretch in last night's game on the nationally televised Game of the Night here on Game of the Night on Sunday Night Baseball. But boy, when they unveiled the statue, and you know, I live in Wrigley Field area, and I take Harper over there for walks all the time when there's no game going on. And you kind of go over in the grass area, and she walks across that. And there's been that podium sitting there for almost a year, it feels like, with no statue on it. And I know, June 23rd, that statue's coming. And it's kind of just very spiritual in a way, waiting for that trophy that statue to just show up there. And yesterday it did, and what a celebration it was.
3, 2, 1. Ignition.
Ignition. It doesn't sound like it, but it was very WWE with the explosions, the confetti, and the smoke hitting Ryne Sandberg.
That's what I'm talking about. I think more things need to have that energy.
Rhino. What a day it was for Ryne Sandberg, joining Ernie Banks, Fergie Jenkins, Ron Santo, and Billy Williams. And then, of course, there's the Harry Carey statue on the corner and right by Murphy's, the bar. But what a day for Ryne Sandberg, so deserving. And he just recently announced, has been fighting cancer for about a year, that he's in a good place, beating cancer at this point so far. So it just couldn't have come at a better time, just all
Well, it was
perfect.
such a celebration, in so many ways. Because of that, I'm so happy that he's gotten, more positive news about, his cancer journey. And then he's finally getting honored, which is long overdue. He's obviously one of our icons and best second baseman of all time, arguably. And it's just been, it was a really, really awesome day for Chicago and Chicago Cubs fans, for sure.
Yeah, amazing. On the 40th anniversary of the Ryne Sandberg game, by the way. And it's so weird for me, having lived in Philadelphia for a little bit when I was exiled from Chicago radio. I won't talk about it, but they consider Ryne Sandberg theirs in Philadelphia. My wife's from Philly, obviously a big Phillies fan. And Ryne Sandberg started his career out in Philadelphia and has a lot of history there as well. Was the manager there when I was living there about 10 years ago here, I guess it would be. So it's weird to have this duality of Ryne Sandberg, because as a Cubs fan, I've always said, well, he's our guy. And I get to Philly and they go, hey, he's our guy. And I'm like, no, he's not your guy. He's our guy. It's a big argument over who. It's like we're pulling Ryne Sandberg by the arms.
They're
like
going to come over and knock our statue down
Yeah.
in minutes.
I picture his arms coming apart and there's stuffing in there, like we're trying to grab Ryne Sandberg for ours. I'm caught in this weird middle ground there. So what a great day yesterday for the Cubs and getting that national attention. Cubs at the Giants tonight. White Sox. Case, what do you want to talk about with your White Sox?
I want to talk about Friday night and the heartbreaking loss. I'm in a group chat now with a bunch of White Sox fans, and we only text. We don't.
That sounds miserable.
Well, here's the thing: we don't talk about our personal life, our family, anything like that. We only text each other when the White Sox find a new way to lose. And Friday night, they found a new way to lose. It was the top of the ninth. They were the road team. They're down 2-1 to the Tigers. Paul DeJong is on first base. He just got hit with a pitch. He's the tying run. Andrew Benintendi is up at the plate. And here we have the Tigers broadcast featuring Jason Benetti, the ex-White Sox announcer. He'll explain exactly what happens.
On 1-2, set up there again. Benintendi gives it a ride for center field. Matt Fearling makes the catch.
Oh, they thought it was
And wow, they thought there were 2 out. This is going to be a double play.
Oh, my goodness. What a way to end the game.
The Tigers win, and the White Sox have yet another play that typifies their season. 2-1 Tigers, thank you very much.
I mean, I can't. I was like, wait a minute. I thought there's 1 out.
How in the world does this happen?
Wow.
So
That's tough.
We found another way to lose. It's just amazing what's happening on the South Side right now. They dropped 2 out of 3 to the Tigers over the weekend. And Friday night, again, I was at home delaying my departure to go see Bridget Calls Me Baby at Lincoln Hall because the White Sox had the tying run on in the 9th inning. And I was like, well, let me see how this plays out. We could have some fireworks here in the 9th. And then they did something that a 9-year-old would do, and they didn't know how many outs there were, and the double play ended the game.
There's a lot going on when you play baseball. Sometimes it's hard to, you know what I mean?
Keep track.
He was so close. it was hard. You know, he thought it was 1. He thought it was 2. He went off. Hey, sue him.
Kenzie comes to the defense of the White Sox here. Very interesting.
A lot going on out there.
I'm trying to create a word here. There's cosmic and there's karma. So it's carsmic, if that makes sense.
Walk me through what you're trying to get to
Why
here.
does he deserve bad karma?
Well, it's carsmic that Benintendi was making the call on this one.
Oh, that Benetti was making the call.
Benetti, I'm sorry. Benetti was making the call on this. It just seems so like an Onion headline in a way.
It was nice to hear his voice. I remember really liking him all those years as the White Sox announcer. It's a shame that, Jerry Reinsdorf, the ghoul that he is, decided to let him go, a hometown guy who is now living in Detroit calling Tigers games.
Seemed baffling. Baffling he was let go.
Just a really good story and a nice guy and seemed to be beloved by the organization. But Jerry Reinsdorf didn't like him, so he doesn't have a job with the White Sox anymore.
Why keep him around?
I know. And hey, at least we got Josh Giddey on the Bulls now. Thanks, Jerry. Everything's going great in Chicago. I love the work you're doing.
Oh,
God.
Casey sound angry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sensing, I don't know, is it sarcasm?
No, I love Kenzie. I love that we traded Alex Caruso, not to get into NBA for a second, that we traded the second best player on the Bulls to the Oklahoma City Thunder, a team that has stockpiled draft picks like weapons for a country preparing to go to war.
Ooh, I like this.
They have 24 draft picks over the next 5 years, and the Bulls acquired none of them in the trade for Josh Giddey. That is impossible to do. I don't know how they pulled it off to only make a player-for-player trade and acquire no picks, but Jerry found a way, gosh darn it. That's our guy. That is Chicago.
He's not greedy.
No, exactly. No,
Yeah.
he's a real wholesome
God forbid.
guy.
God forbid. I saw somebody give a rating of an F- to that trade. I've never seen an F- on a trade ever.
You did more than fail. You did more than fail.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
No, it's it's going great.
All right.
I love it. I love Chicago sports right now. Thank you, Jerry, for once again seeing the light and being a visionary. By the way, Eloy Jimenez hurt yesterday. Just came off the IL. He's going to go back on. It's great. Everything's great.
548 texted and said, well, the White Sox are saving a lot of money on fireworks this season.
Yeah, they are.
It's helping out.
You know
They're
what?
going to be able to afford some pretty big players in the offseason because of the whole fireworks
You know
thing.
what?
So look at it. You're not doing the half glass full thing, Case. If you factor in how much money they're saving on fireworks and who they're really going to be able to purchase in the offseason, I don't think that's what's really going to go kaboom, okay?
Listen, Kenzie didn't end up picking me up fireworks in Indiana over the weekend. I should just go down the guaranteed rate and pick some up.
They would love that.
They're sitting there just.
No, they're saving them for next season because it's going to go boom, baby, once they spend all that money.
Listen, they have expiration dates, those fireworks. They ain't going to last.
Just remember, before we get too excited, this is the team last September that publicly said, guys, we are not pursuing Shohei Ohtani. I know there's 30 MLB teams, 29 fan bases are like, oh my God, Ohtani could come to our city. And the White Sox were actively telling their fans and, more importantly, season ticket holders, we are not in the race for Ohtani.
Nah.
Come on.
We don't need a good player.
Listen, it's all about the expectations that you set. That's very important. Like the downfall if you think you're in for Ohtani is hard. If you know you're not in, you're just excited to get, pretty good player.
Wow. Well, he'll be in town. He'll be on the South Side tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday. I'm hopefully going to go to the game on Wednesday.
I will say, you know what my mom has said? It's her absolute saying. But every time we get bummed out about something, and this, it sounds juvenile, but it's actually very helpful. Whenever I don't like something, she goes, lower your expectations. I'm like, I swear to God, every time I'm like, oh, can you believe whatever? Your husband's family does something, or this happens, or your friend does something. She goes, lower your expectations. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I mean, solid point. She goes, it's because you're expecting things of people, and then it bums you out. She goes, don't expect anything of anybody except yourself. Oh. And then you'll be pleasantly surprised if anybody does something right.
Well, that's one way to go through life.
And that's how I look at stuff now.
Listen, your mom and my dad should have hung out.
I know.
Because my dad used to say so emphatically, adulthood is a disappointment. He said it's full of hard work and no reward.
Kenzie, can I offer a counter to lower your expectations?
Oh,
What do you got?
jeez.
I'm a White Sox fan. My expectations couldn't be lower, and they still disappoint me.
Nuh-uh, because then you wouldn't have been surprised about the Ohtani news. If your expectations were where they should have been, you would have been like, well, of course, you don't even have to tell us that. So I would lower your expectations, and then you're going to be like, well, this is great.
I mean, your
They knew
expectations,
how many outs there were. This is awesome.
they've got to be lower than lower whacker. They've got to really.
My GPS won't be able to find my expectations.
That's right.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
You can't defeat her. She's too powerful.
Clash with Kenzie.
Let the battle begin.
Q101.
And Clash with Kenzie is brought to you by the Schaumburg Boomers.
Feel the boom, baby.
For tickets, visit boomersbaseball.com. And one of our listeners, his daughter, is singing the national anthem tonight at the Boomers baseball game, and she's deaf. And she's singing the national anthem tonight. That's incredible.
That's awesome.
Wow.
What a story. Want to hear more about that tomorrow? To one of our listeners that checked in on that, please tell us tomorrow morning how that went. And in the meantime, we have, now this is Dean from last week.
This is Dean from last week.
Oh my goodness. Dean last week gave us one of the best calls in a long time from Palos, and he told us he was so tired and hungover he missed work, but then he emphatically explained, the situation.
Hey, and not even like I blew it off. I'm talking completely slipped my mind. Hey, so I gotta say to my boss, Luke, if you're listening, buddy, I am sorry.
That one's on me. That one's my bad.
I'll eat that one, Coach. That one's on me.
Oh, he's my favorite still.
Dean, welcome to the show.
Hey.
We're back in real
Hey,
time now.
ahoy.
Now, how'd that all work out, Dean? Did you go to work on Monday and everything work out?
Oh, everything was gravy, man. You know what? I made up for it because I made it this weekend, you know?
I'll tell you.
Are you supposed to be at work now, out of curiosity?
Oh, yeah. I'm sitting here right now, you know?
Hard at work, calling the radio station. I love it.
I'm at work here, dude.
I got to say, this is proof right here that honesty is the best policy.
That's right.
Just go up there and take the hit. Take the hit. He was like, I am sorry. My bad on that one.
Amen.
I just forgot to come to work. My bad.
That's all.
That's it. Just forgot. Don't make
Hey,
up
you know what? We're all Sox fans over here. We're used to the disappointment, you know?
Oh,
That's
boy.
right.
You
That's
and-
right.
You guys in case can talk after the show.
Well, what I've learned is lower your expectations and everything will be okay.
Told
What
you.
if I've learned anything this morning, it's expect nothing.
And that's probably how your boss felt. He wasn't surprised when you didn't show up. It works all the way around, baby.
You don't lead him with that last week, no?
With Dean, I'm lowering my expectations.
I have high expectations for him in
Perfect.
trivia, though. Let's flip a coin.
Okay, so we've got Bristol Renaissance Fair passes, a 4-pack. This is amazing. So first one to 5 wins. Listen carefully, Dean. If Kenzie gets one wrong, you can steal a point. She can do the same to you. Call heads or tails, Dean.
Heads.
It is heads. All right,
Love
Dean. Here we go. Question number 1, Dean. What dance-based video game was implemented into fitness programs in schools starting in 2006?
DDR, Dance Dance Revolution.
Dance Dance Revolution is right. Kenzie, what nationality are Mario and Luigi?
Italian?
Italian. Another video game
I hope
question.
so.
Dean, the Accent and the Santa Fe are car models manufactured by what company?
Hyundai.
Hyundai. Dean. Back to Kenzie. Botany is the scientific study of what?
Like plants.
Plants is right. 2-2. We're going right along here. Dean, baseball's Triple Crown refers to a player leading the league in batting average, RBIs, and
No. Batting average. Home runs.
home runs is right. Dean, good job. Back to Kenzie. What 1992 sports movie starred Emilio Estevez and followed a team of ragtag young Minneapolis athletes?
Mighty Ducks.
Mighty Ducks, 3-3. Here we go. Dean, who is the fastest mouse in all of Mexico?
Oh, Speedy Gonzalez, baby.
Gonzalez is right. Of course he is. Oh, boy.
He knew that. That was right in his wheelhouse.
Let's see.
4-3 back to Kenzie.
Kenzie, in what card game would someone get hit with a wild card, be forced to draw 4, or get hit with a skip card?
Uno.
Uno's right. Kenzie's got 4. Dean's got 4. Next one wins.
If Dean gets this, he is going to the Bristol Renaissance Fair. A lot on the line here.
Wow.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dean, Young Sheldon is a CBS sitcom that serves as a prequel to what sitcom that ran from 2007 to 2019?
Man, dude. I'm going to say The Big Bang Theory.
Dean, you're going to the Bristol Renaissance Fair.
Oh, man.
And you're going to see us there because the Caravan with us happens Saturday, July 13th. So please come that day when we're there at noon.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, we're going to be out there. Let's turn up.
Yeah.
Unless you have work, of course.
Right.
We do not want to promote you not going to work anymore.
Hey, I'll put it right here, right now. Your boy is not going to work that day. You can say, you guys are real good at saving stuff, so we can save that one, you know?
Clash with Kenzie. The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie here on Q101. So Trouble in Paradise, Wheel of Fortune is falling apart without Pat Sajak. So they're on their summer break showing reruns. This is very important to me because my baby Harper, she loves Wheel of Fortune. Mm-hmm. And I've been lying to her. She's watching the reruns and she thinks they're new.
Okay.
And she's 18 months old. I can't explain reruns to her. And I just feel terrible. I go,
I don't think you're lying. I think you're just not really communicating with her. She's 18 months old.
Some relationships you'd say that would be lying, not
Not
communicating
when they're 18
properly.
months old.
A lie is a lie no matter how old.
Yeah, I'm going to hell. I'm definitely showing her reruns of Wheel of Fortune. I'm going to hell. I mean, there's a couple other reasons I'm probably going to hell, but
this doesn't help.
No, this doesn't help. If I had like an out, and you're like, all right, you've got this beautiful baby. Nope, you've been showing her reruns of Wheel of Fortune. You're going to hell.
Imagine being at the pearly gates and God is reviewing your game film. Yeah, everything you've ever done in your life. And he gets to that moment where he's like, that's not Ryan Seacrest, Brian. And then he hits the trap door and you go down to hell for eternity. That's your life. That's the path you're on right now.
I got to be honest. Yes, that's one of the hells. But I think you'd have a few more play stops before that.
You think
that's not going to be the first time God hits pause in Brian's tape. You know what I mean? It's going to be a long visit.
You know what, though? It's going to be a pretty interesting watch, that game tape.
Oh, my God, yeah. No, it's going to be like Citizen Kane. It's going to be unbelievable.
Oh, man.
The twists and turns it takes.
Well, Ryan Seacrest is taking over in the fall, but they're already taping it, and it's not working out. Apparently, Vanna White, the rumor is that she might quit because she, quote, doesn't jibe with Ryan Seacrest, who does get like every job that comes up. Give it to Ryan Seacrest. Oh, sure, we'll do that. And Pat Sajak was a great Chicagoan, very funny. Did it for 41 years. So I could see Vanna sticking around afterward, not jibing
I think they
right
should have
away.
retired together because you can't, like, they were best friends. They were so close. She's not going to vibe because it's going to be different, and you're not going to like that because it's been 41 years of something that you really like.
True, but I don't like to count on other people's money. He was making like, I think 13, 14 million, and she was making like 3. So I'm not saying she needs the work, but she can make 3 more million. She's 10 years younger than him. She could make 3 more million a year for like 10 more years easy, probably, right? 30 million bucks?
I don't know. Just do like appearances at like Comic-Cons and be over, you know.
She wants to go to Comic-Con.
I mean, you go to like 3 and make that much money.
I don't know. If I were Vanna White, I would not want to take that risk.
Oh, God.
The Comic-Cons are fun.
I'll tell you one thing is Maggie Sajak is sitting there in the waiting, just waiting to lunge on that job.
Listen, I believe with all my heart and soul, this is her. I think she is in the hallways just spreading rumors and hate. She's like, Vanna, I don't know if you know this, but Ryan said you look super old today on the screen. She is trying to tear them apart like a soap opera. And, like, she's going to Ryan, like, just, you know, she doesn't think you have an ounce of talent and you're a hack. And he's like, what? Well, maybe she does look old. Like, it's getting ugly. She is starting the fire.
In case you haven't watched it, like Maggie Sajak, Pat Sajak's daughter, is in charge of, like, all the social media for Wheel of Fortune. She's on at the end every day, and she's filled in for Vanna before in the past. And she's, like, 30 years old, I guess, and Vanna's, 66 or 67. I mean, but to Kenzie's point, she's back there like giving her the wrong card on what the word
Hell
is.
yes. She's pulling an anchor man. She's typing like the F word on the prompter.
Oh, man. Well, listen, it better work out. The show can't get canceled. I hope not. It's got to keep going. But we'll see who really is going to be a part of the show when it starts up in the fall with those new episodes. Ryan Seacrest for sure is there. But do you think Vanna could say he's got to go and get rid of him? She's been there 41 years.
She doesn't have leverage. Seacrest is the top dog now.
She should have the power, though. It's her show.
That's not how the world works.
And I mean this nicely. They only get a little bit left of her. Like if she's not done now, but she's gonna be done soon.
You ever do the math on how many Christmases your dog has left? That's what you're doing with Vanna White right now.
That's not what I meant. I didn't mean it like
dark.
that. I just meant.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Even if she hangs on for what you said, 10 years.
If we're lucky, God willing.
They could have Seacrest for 40. Nobody likes to rehire.
He's 50 something. He may not have 40.
I don't know if he's 50 something. Is he?
40 would be a stretch.
Ryan Seacrest age. We can find this out.
This is kind of like my
49.
This is kind of like my pension trying to say hey, it's worth this much if you live to 98. I'm like, let's start with 68. Let's start there.
So Vanna's 67.
Yeah.
Maggie is 29. She's my age. She's like a predator. And then Ryan is 49. If I were Maggie, not only do you want Vanna White's job, you also want Ryan Seacrest's last name. She's trying to get married.
Yeah, she's trying to marry up.
She's trying to get on that show. And I talk about securing the bag job-wise and husband-wise. With one swing of a Vanna White axe, her life is made.
Or taking the nail out of her heel, so when she walks off, she trips and face plants. And those spikes on the wheel take her out. That'd be like a Saw movie. That's how she goes.
She needs to be careful. Vanna White should not honestly, like the movie Showgirls. She should not let Maggie walk behind her.
Yes.
In any scenario, should Maggie be behind Vanna White?
Never.
Ever, because she's gonna get shoved down staircases.
Oh.
And I wouldn't do it.
Case hasn't seen Showgirls yet.
Oh, God.
It's on the list, though. Trust me. It's high on the list.
That's on his list of classic movies he hasn't seen, Showgirls.
By the way, can you imagine, when an offensive lineman blows out his knee and he has to get carted off the field? If the last time we see Vanna White, something, mysterious happens to her because of Pat Sajak's daughter, and she has to get carted off the Wheel of Fortune set, and she waves goodbye to the audience, and that's the last we ever see of her, that's a realistic possibility.
It's kind of like in Showgirls, actually, to Kenzie's point. It's exactly like
this
that.
Is what's happening.
Oh, God.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.